Welcome to Storytime with Mama V. I'm your host, Victoria, but you can call me Mama V. In this show, we go on storytime adventures where magic exists, where brave knights and courageous princesses come out to play, and where the good always defies evil. Now, get comfy, because storytime is about to begin. Hello, and welcome back to Storytime with Mama V. Okay, today we are reading part 2 of Cornelius the Dragon. Now, I'll give you a quick recap of what happened in part 1. So, Cornelius is a dragon, and he's part of a big dragon family where it's common for dragons to practice fire breathing and work on their flight speed. But Cornelius is not like other dragons. He likes to garden and make his own medicine. And his family doesn't like it. So he is sent on a mission to keep a princess in a tower. And when he gets there, he gets to chat with the princess, and she lets him know that the reason she's locked up in the tower, the reason the king wants her kept locked up in the tower, is because she had toast for breakfast, and apparently princesses are only supposed to have fruit. So let's dig in and see what happens next. Well, why shouldn't you have toast for breakfast? It's not hurting anyone. You probably love toast. Why wouldn't you? I've heard it's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm sure your great-great-grandfather loved toast, Cornelius cried. The girl's eyes widened. Yes, toast is great. Are you okay? Yes, princess, I am. What's your name? Cornelius asked. Samantha. My friends call me Sam, she smiled. I'm Cornelius, named after the cornflower. And I will return, Sam. And with that, Cornelius spread out his wings and was off through the sky. Cornelius shot through the clouds, swiftly gliding over hills and treetops toward the forest. He landed softly in the grass beside the garden. It was quiet. The soil crumbled at his touch, and the plants had withered, but Cornelius felt hopeful. He saw the willow tree standing tall near the garden, its branches swaying in the breeze. He walked over to it, and with his claws, etched the words, Corn's Garden, into the bark. Then he got to work. When the sun rose, so did Cornelius, and at night he worked by firelight until his eyes closed against his will. When the sun greeted him on the final day, his body ached and his claws were chipped. Cornelius was ready. He stretched. He yawned. And was off through the sky again. Sam was asleep on the windowsill when he returned, next to a full plate of fruit. As he landed, his wings created a huge gust of air that sent Sam and her plate flying to the floor. Crash! Sorry, called Cornelius. Gah! What took you so long? Sam gathered herself off the floor and ran back to the window. Whoa! What's that? She pointed to Cornelius's arms. It's for you, Cornelius said, so you can go eat toast. Cornelius had woven a ladder from the branches of the willow tree. Proudly, he fastened it to the windowsill. Cornelius, thank you. And before Cornelius could reply, Sam climbed down the ladder and ran across the castle grounds until she was out of sight. Cornelius had a nervous feeling in his tummy as he returned home. I'm my own dragon, he whispered to himself. I'm my own dragon. And with every wing flap, he repeated those 5 words until his house came into view. I'm my own dragon. I'm my own dragon. I'm my own dragon. I can do this. I'm my own dragon. Inside, his mother paced nervously. Every few steps, she let out a huge breath of fire that left black smoke hanging in the air. Cornelius hovered to a halt and took a deep breath. Within a few seconds, he heard a loud roar that made him flinch. Cornelius! His mother cried. Where have you been? Fury stumbled out the door, and Rocco sauntered out behind him. Your father has been looking for you, his mother cried. I was at the tower, and then I wasn't, and then I was again, Cornelius stammered. His family stared at him in confusion. I don't want to be a dragon anymore, Cornelius stomped his feet. Honey, you'll always be a dragon, his mother said gently. Yes, but I want to be my own dragon, Cornelius cried. His mother smiled. Suddenly, his father returned, followed by a thick stream of smoke. His big, scaly body hit and shook the ground. Thump! He opened his mouth to speak. And Cornelius knew it was now or never. I'm my own dragon, Cornelius blurted out. Gardening makes me happy. I don't like burning things or keeping Sams locked in towers for eating toast. Cornelius noticed his father was limping. Oh, Dad, you're hurt, Cornelius called out. Everybody rushed over. Got into some trouble looking for you, his father said quietly. Cornelius took off into the sky as fast as his wings would take him. He returned out of breath, his arms loaded with plants. What is all this? His father asked. You'll see, Cornelius replied. His family watched in amazement as Cornelius made a bandage from the plants. He fastened it to his father's leg and stood tall in front of him. In a few days, you'll be as good as new, Cornelius beamed. Cornelius, his father began, I'm sorry. I was really scared when I could not find you. This is a very clever thing, he pointed at the bandage. I can make other things too, Cornelius said eagerly. How about you show me when my leg is better, his father replied. Cornelius grinned and took a deep breath. Come on, then, help me into the house. His father propped himself up with his powerful wings. Fury slid under one wing, and Cornelius zipped under the other before Rocco had a chance to move. Cornelius bubbled with excitement and let out a huge breath of fire. At the door, Cornelius' father stopped. Did someone say toast? He asked, rubbing his belly. Cornelius burst out laughing, and no one else knew why. And this brings us to the end of our story. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already done so, please leave our show a review and a rating. And I'll see you on the next episode of Storytime with Mama V. Thank you so much. Bye for now.